In this video, Simon Sinek talks about how we merely admit that they possess skills and talents from which we could benefit.
You can only have a competitor in a finite game, right? In a game of baseball or football, you want to beat your competitor, and then the game ends, but the competitors live on to fight another day, right? That's what happens. But in business, there is no such thing as winning or losing at a macro level. When we talk about winning in a game that cannot be won, what ends up happening is we focus too much on beating the enemies. We look to exploit their weaknesses, or because we pick our own metrics and our time frames, to exaggerate those things in the short term, but we're not actually building a stronger company. A healthier way to view another player in an infinite game is to, instead of thinking of them as a competitor to be beaten, you think of them as rivals. Some of those rivals are worthy of comparison, meaning they do one or many things better than you. Their strengths reveal to you your weaknesses. And so we should be grateful for the other players in the game, and instead of trying to beat them, we can learn from them. So the best example I can offer is at least it's a funny example, is a personal story. I had the opportunity to speak at an education summit for Microsoft. I also had an opportunity to speak in an education summit for Apple. At the Microsoft Summit, the vast majority of the executives spent the vast majority of their presentations talking about how they were going to beat Apple. At the Apple Summit, 100% of the executives spent 100% of their presentations talked about how they were going to help teachers teach and help students learn. One was obsessed with their mission, the other one was obsessed with beating their competition, right? At the end of my talk at Microsoft, they gave me a gift. They gave me the new Zune when it was a thing. That was Microsoft's response to the iPod. And if you listen to any of the press that Microsoft put out at the time, or anything that Steve Ballmer said, they were going to beat Apple, right? That was their obsession. So at the end of my Apple talk, I was sharing a taxi with one of the senior executives, and I couldn't help myself. I had to stir the pot. And I turned to him and I said, Microsoft gave me their new Zune. It is so much better than my iPod Touch. And he looked at me and he said, I have no doubt. And the conversation was over. What he understood is sometimes you have the better product and sometimes they have the better product. Sometimes you're ahead and sometimes you're behind. There's no winning or losing. And because Microsoft was obsessed with beating Apple, all of their focus and attention went on to making a better iPod, right? Where Apple was more obsessed with outdoing themselves. They couldn't care less what Microsoft was doing. And about a year later, Apple introduced the iPhone, which rendered both the Zune and the iPod completely obsolete. And that's the point. The innovation that came out of the organization didn't come because they were trying to best their competitor. It came from trying to best themselves. And so in the infinite game of business, we need to stop trying to beat our competitors and start identifying which of the other people who do what we do some things or many things better than us. Maybe better leadership, better training, better marketing, whatever it is. And say, okay, let's up our game. Because business is a game where two players, can offer a similar product at similar price and both be wildly successful at the same time. And so it's a good business. The best players in business play for the good of the game. Right? That's what the infinite game is. It's for the good of the game. And at the end of the day, the good of the game means it's good for all business. And at the end of the day, it's the right thing to do from a moral and ethical standpoint. Like, was it illegal for you to hoard your patents? No, of course not. Would people have faulted you for it? Maybe, maybe not. But did it build trust with people? Yes. Will it make you the go-to company of choice, even if you're slightly more expensive later down the road? Highly likely. Will people come to you advice and turn down somebody else who is more finite and selfishly driven? Did you demonstrate that you actually care about other people other than yourselves? Yes, 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 yes. And in the short term, yes, it cost you something. Of course it did, right? In the long term, it'll pay dividends way more than whatever was spent in the short term. So I think anybody who thinks it's a fool's errand to do that, who thinks that that's not business, all they're doing is revealing themselves as finite players, and all they're doing is revealing themselves as short-term mindset.
Famous speaker, author, and leadership expert Simon Sinek frequently emphasizes the need of having respectable adversaries in life. He thinks that competition is essential for both professional and personal development, since it pushes us to improve. Worthy rivals, according to Sinek, are people or groups that share our values, views, and aspirations. They are not our foes or rivals who seek to harm us, rather, they are rivals who work with us to improve. For a number of reasons, according to Sinek, having deserving adversaries is crucial. First and foremost, when we witness others succeeding, it inspires us to raise our standards and pursue perfection. We are motivated to learn new abilities, enhance our performance, and exhibit greater creativity and innovation as a result of this healthy competition. Worthy competitors also make us answerable for our deeds. We are more likely to maintain discipline and concentrate when we are aware that our competition are observing every move we make. We are aware that if we lose focus or commit errors, our competitors will exploit those flaws and outperform us. This challenges us to remain focused on our objectives and keep us on our toes. In addition, respectable competitors offer us insightful criticism. We can learn a lot from the achievements and mistakes of those who are similarly competent and knowledgeable to us when we compete against them. We can examine their tactics, strategies, and methods and what we discover to further our own goals. This makes it possible for us to advance much more quickly than we otherwise could. Finally, respectable rivals encourage us to forge closer bonds. We have the chance to engage with people more deeply when we compete against them. We can benefit from their experiences, impart our own wisdom, and grow to appreciate and admire one another. This fosters a sense of unity and companionship that can endure forever. Who are some examples of deserving competitors then? Sinek frequently uses Apple and Microsoft as a prime illustration. Both businesses share the same mission and ambition of developing cutting edge technology that enhances people's lives. They have been in rivalry for many years, and as a result, the tech industry has seen some of the most revolutionary developments. Each business has challenged the other to be more imaginative, inventive, and customer focused. Because of this, Apple and Microsoft have both had extraordinary success and transformed how we communicate, work, and live. The realm of athletics is another instance of honorable competitors. Athletes who compete against one another frequently grow to love and appreciate one another. They value the challenge that their rivals present and are aware of the effort, sacrifice, and hard work needed to succeed in their sport. Athletes are motivated by this healthy competition to work more in the gym. Finally, Simon Sinek's idea of deserving rivals is a potent one. We can attain greater success and fulfillment in both our personal and professional lives by embracing healthy competition and seeing our rivals as opportunities for growth and development. Having worthy competitors is crucial for pushing ourselves to be the best version of ourselves, whether it be in business, sports, or any other aspect of life. A competing player who is deserving of comparison is known as a worthy rival. We don't have to agree with them, like them, or even admire what they do. We merely admit that they possess skills and talents from which we could benefit. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. For more videos, like these and please subscribe.